right, guys, welcome back to another video. So we got a bonus Xbox update, and a lot of this has to actually do with your game captures and being able to upload them to the cloud and to OneDrive. But let's go through everything that they did add here as an extra update in September. So far here, they say new policy for storing game captures plus a new easy way to back them up. Obviously, when you take a picture, you take a screenshot, a video capture, you get the notification that it's been uploaded to the Xbox network. And there is actually a relatively big change here that I think everybody should be aware of. It says starting today, we're updating the way the Xbox network retains game captures. Game captures stored on the Xbox network will be deleted after 90 days. So that's kind of unfortunate because I have a lot of captures on the Xbox network that are just there. And now going forward, I'm going to have to figure out whether I want to keep them there and risk them being deleted after 90 days or have them uploaded to another place like a OneDrive, or maybe just download them onto my phone, upload them to social media, all that type of stuff. It says to back up any clips or screenshots you wish to keep indefinitely, follow the steps listed in our backup your clips article. And to double check the status of your game captures, go to the Captures app to view your game captures stored on the Xbox network to see if any are marked for an upcoming deletion. So at least they will, from the sounds of it, let you know which ones are going to be getting deleted soon so you can figure out what you want to do with those. Now, besides that, they did say they have made it easier to back up your game captures to either the OneDrive or to an external device of your choice. And they say you can move, manage, and bulk upload where you store your captures on your Xbox console. Just hit your Xbox button, go to your My Games and Apps, see all apps, and then captures. And then you're going to be able to select, I guess, basically, do you want these to automatically be backed up to a OneDrive so you never have to wonder if anything is backed up? And then presumably you're avoiding those clips being deleted after the 90-day threshold from the Xbox network. Now, the next thing they've added here is the finding events for your favorite games. They say now it's easier than ever to discover in-game events and new content that's being launched for the games you love. From the top of home, scroll down and you'll see the new events channel. So there's a new events channel here where you can jump into multiplayer games, jump into events that are happening for games that you're playing. Upcoming Forza Motorsport probably will have a ton of stuff. A game like Motorfest, the Crew Motorfest, which I'm playing now, would be a great one to jump in with people. Games like Payday 3, even with all those network issues that they've had at launch, once those are all worked out, seemingly I think that they are better now. You're going to find people to play with in this new events tab. And they also say here you're able to find popular apps faster when setting up your Xbox. Basically, they're going to ask you which apps you want to have installed right away when you set up an Xbox, when you set up your new console or reset your console or whatever. So it's right there, right when you're jumping in and playing. And that's pretty much it. The rest are just smaller. Watch and play your favorite fall sports. So they're going to have a bunch of stuff dedicated here to football, basketball, hockey, sports that are coming up and starting in the fall. So, I mean, it's a smaller update, but I think the biggest thing to be aware of here is the capture policy that on the Xbox network, your captures will now be deleted after 90 days. So if you have some clips out there that are just sitting on the Xbox network and you don't want to lose them, make sure to go check them out. All right, guys, and jumping over here, we got some pretty big breaking news, and that is that Jim Ryan is no longer going to be the head of PlayStation. The initial reports came out and they said that he was stepping down, which he is, I guess you could say, but officially is saying here that Jim Ryan is retiring as the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment. PlayStation and Sony, they put out this press release and they say here, the Sony Group and Sony Interactive Entertainment today announced that SIE President and CEO Jim Ryan has made the decision to retire in March of 2024. So he's still going to be around for a little bit longer here, but in March of 2024, there will be a new leader in place with PlayStation. He's been there for 30 years. So they say after almost 30 years with the PlayStation business, and they say to support Jim Ryan in this transition, Sony Group Corporation President, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki will assume the role of chairman of SIE effective October 2023. And effective April 1st, 2024, Mr. Totoki will be appointed interim CEO of SIE while he continues his current role at the Sony Group Corporation. And Mr. Toki will work closely with the Sony Group Corporation chairman and CEO Kenichiro Yoshida and the management team of SIE to help define the next chapter of PlayStation's future, including the succession of the SIE CEO role. So, I mean, this is kind of shocking. No, I don't think anybody expected this to happen, especially with the timing of everything that is going down here. It is almost hard to believe that he just randomly is deciding to retire at this point. You have to put this into perspective. They just lost on trying everything in their power to block the Activision Blizzard acquisition. It's apparent that Xbox is coming back stronger than ever and really putting PlayStation in a place where they have to change their entire business if they want to continue to compete for future generations, moving away from locking games to consoles. I mean, they've already started doing that with releasing more games on PC, moving to more games as a service, and upgrading their subscription service with PlayStation Plus. And then we also are just coming off the fact that Sony apparently has been hacked again, which could be another just big negative thing towards Jim Ryan, I guess, depending on how much of that information from the PlayStation side of things has been hacked. I mean, we still don't know the full details on that. It really may not be as big as they're making it out to be. And we should be hearing more about it because they said they are going to be releasing these documents by the 28th. So it's a very shocking, very surprising news, and we will see what comes next. Like they say, Hiroki Totoki is going to be taking his place for now, but I'm assuming they're going to be looking for a true new head of PlayStation where that is their main and only role. But as of right now, Jim Ryan is only going to be the head of PlayStation until March of 2024. And there's some comments here from Kenichiro Yoshida saying here that Jim Ryan has been an inspirational leader throughout the entire period with us, but never more so than overseeing the launch of the PlayStation 5 in the midst of the global pandemic, which he did oversee that. And the PlayStation 5 has sold very well. I mean, you have to give Jim Ryan definitely some credit with how good the PlayStation 5 has been doing. He says that extraordinary achievement made by the entire SIE team has been steadily built on, and PlayStation 5 is on track to become SE's most successful console yet. I'm immensely grateful to Jim for all of his achievements. And they go on, they talk about some other stuff here. I'm not sure how interesting really that is for you guys to hear overall, but it's funny to see all of this going down. And I think PlayStation is now in a position where they really have to get somebody in there who I think is more forward thinking and not just wanting to stay on the current path that PlayStation has been on for generation after generation after generation. What Jim Ryan has done, though, recently is he has started that transition, as I said, with the more games as a service and opening up their ecosystem. So the next person that does come in is going to have to continue that and potentially get out there and try to create more games outside of the virtuous cycle, which is the thing that Jim Ryan loves to continuously say. It will be interesting to see the overall reaction. People sad? Are people happy? I think on the PlayStation side of things, that's where we'll get what people's real thoughts are. I think there's a lot of people here that really liked Sean Layden previous to Jim Ryan coming in, and I've been disappointed with his work at PlayStation so far. So we'll see who comes next and what people think about this. Now, in terms of the Activision Blizzard acquisition, there was some more news again today. It hasn't fully been approved yet. They haven't closed. That's going to be coming soon. But it looks like the FTC is just not giving up. They are going to continue to challenge this deal even after this deal is going to be closing. There really is nothing that can happen to stop this deal from closing, but the FTC really wants to keep challenging it. We have an article here from Bloomberg, and it says the U.S. Federal Trade Commission is continuing its challenge of the Microsoft $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and yet another attempt to fight the deal even after it closes. They want to continue to fight this thing. They've lost. It's unanimous that they really don't have a case to stand on. But it seems like, I'm assuming for political reasons, for Lena Khan to want that badge of honor of making something negative happen from this deal, making some sort of crazy concession. I'm assuming that's why they're continuing to go after it. They're going to continue to fight this thing. It says the FTC will move forward with its in-house trial against the acquisition after pausing that process over the summer, according to an order the agency issued on Wednesday. And the move means the FTC can technically continue to challenge a deal even after it closes, but won't likely derail it from going through on October 18th. It's kind of just a waste of time. And here is some comments in terms of where the deal is and what they're thinking of doing. It says the FTC continues to believe this deal is a threat to competition. That's from the FTC spokesperson Victoria Graham. Said the agency is planning the issue on the commission's calendar, but our current focus is on the federal appeal process. And they also say the agency sought to block the merger over the concerns, and then, as we know, they lost in court. It was essentially they had no chance. Their arguments weren't great. The court quickly came out and ruled in favor of Microsoft, which gave them that power to now go ahead and close it, not having to actually wait on the CMA to make a decision. But Xbox decided that they were going to offer their new remedies with selling off the cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft to get the CMA to approve the deal, which they've preliminarily approved, just waiting on feedback from third parties. So they did that so that they could close across the entire world. And my thought process here is they just want to make sure that going forward, if they have other acquisitions, that they aren't in the complete bad books of these regulators, so that they don't have as hard of a time as they've had here with Activision Blizzard, which is why they didn't close right away after beating the FTC in court. So, I mean, they're still going after it. And what came out of all of this news here was a very, very funny tweet from Lulu Chang Meserve, which I think there's probably a lot of Americans out there who are thinking the same thing when it comes to the FTC just burning through taxpayer money for a case they cannot win. And Lulu Chang Meserve says here, in response to questions about this, we're focused on working with Microsoft toward closing. How the FTC uses limited taxpayer resources is their decision. I mean, she's been known to be outspoken, to have these hot takes, to have these funny tweets, and kind of really just call out what is going on. And that's kind of what it looks like. I mean, I'm not American. I'm an outsider looking in at this, but it just seems like the FTC is wasting taxpayer money over and over and over again in a case that they're not going to win. And there's really nothing they're going to be able to do here, as they've been beaten in court. Microsoft and Xbox have made so many remedies, so much so they've sold off an entire division, which is the cloud streaming rights, to another big AAA publisher in Ubisoft. They've done everything to work with these regulators to get this deal to close. And obviously, we know from what Microsoft, what Phil Spencer and Xbox have said, they want this deal for mobile gaming, and they're willing to make these adjustments with things like Call of Duty and cloud gaming to get it closed. So there it is. I mean, they're still going to continue to fight it, but I really don't see any wins coming out of that for the FTC. Now let's jump over here. One of the biggest things throughout the entire Activision Blizzard acquisition was the discussion of Call of Duty and competition. Can anybody make a competition to Call of Duty? Now, to be fair, it will be very hard to ever get a game to the level of Call of Duty, but I do think it is possible. And I definitely think it's possible to have other games come out, newer games that at least try to compete and bring some people over from the Call of Duty franchise to playing another game. But one of those games, a game that I've played the beta of multiple times, I think is a lot of fun, and I think has a chance at competing with Call of Duty, is xDefiant. And xDefiant, we don't have an official release date, but it does look like here it is getting closer and closer to the release date. They are having a public test on PC, I think starting tomorrow for a couple of days. And within that, it is showing here that it is spotted that they are planning to release this game on October 1st. Now, this isn't confirmed, but xDefiant is definitely close to release. We just don't know when it is going to be coming out. And I'm excited to see how this game performs in terms of how many people play it, the reception. I think the reception so far from the public tests, from the betas, have been very good. A lot of people are comparing it to Call of Duty, and there's people out there that are liking it better with the maps and even the gameplay and gunplay and stuff. So obviously it's a game they'll continuously improve on, but I have a feeling xDefiant is one of those first-person shooters that may have a chance at actually competing with the likes of Call of Duty, especially because it does feel and play very similar to the fast-paced nature of the Call of Duty games. But keep your eyes out if you're looking to play it. October 1st looks like it will be that release date, unless some things change, and we'll see what the official announcement is when they do actually give us that release date. Now, let's talk about PlayStation. Horizon Forbidden West has now been confirmed that it is coming to PC in early 2024. There are rumors about this, but PlayStation put out an official post, an official video saying here that Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition launches on PS5 October 6th and comes to PC in early 2024. So it is another first party PlayStation game coming over to PC. And I personally think this is a great thing to see, that they are opening up and increasing the access to their games away from just being locked to the PlayStation console. Now, there's a couple of reasons why they are doing this. We are in a era of gaming where it costs so much to make these games. I just don't think it's viable anymore to lock games to a console, these big AAA style of games, just to the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, with when you're paying $200 million to develop these games. So that's one of the major reasons why they know they have to release these games on PC to try to generate more revenue and open up their player base. And this is just going to be what's happening with PlayStation going forward, whether PlayStation fanboys like it or not. There's definitely a factor here of PlayStation fanboys that hate the fact that these games are coming to PC, thinking for some reason that other people getting access to a game is a bad thing, but it isn't. It is a good thing, and we'll see more of this going forward. The question here is this going to be something they speed up? Are we going to see PlayStation first party games on PC sooner after the original release date? Are they going to eventually start dropping these games day and date on PC to really generate a lot of revenue at launch, especially as they'll see those numbers, I think, skyrockets when you're launching it on a huge player base like the PC platform? And it's, again, another step in that direction of PlayStation essentially following that ecosystem model that Xbox has created with Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Cloud Gaming and the Play Anywhere stuff that Xbox has with PC and Xbox, and obviously any device that has the cloud on it where you can stream through the Xbox Game Pass subscription. So I think this is a great thing, and we will see more of this. I mean, Spider-Man 2, you can guarantee is going to come to PC at some point. I mean, Spider-Man, the first one did. It's just a matter of when these games will be coming to PC. Now, we have this here when it comes to some more Sony news. This is a very weird story that is going on, and it has to do with a statue maker called Gaming Heads, and they're claiming that Sony told them to destroy all of their PlayStation-themed stock, so much so they can't even fulfill pre-orders for statues that people have made, and they're not even going to communicate and talk to their customers about refunds. They're telling their customers to actually go and talk to Sony about refunds. But here is the story. It says, according to the company, this includes items currently in stock, including The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie statue, Jack 3 statues, and God of War statues. It also includes pre-order items such as the Sly Cooper statue, the Last of Us Ellie and Joel diorama, Bloodborne statue, and the Ratchet and Clank statue. An open letter posted on the company's Twitter account suggests the decision was made by Sony, but doesn't explain why it made this decision. It says it also name-checks Sony PlayStation's group's manager of commercial partnership, Judy Ward, and gives out her email address and tells pre-order customers to contact her about your now canceled order, payments, refunds, etc., and what they will do for you. Here's exactly what they say. We have worked with Sony PlayStation for more than 10 years to bring you some of the best video game collectibles, and have been trying hard to get them to change their mind. They know you have paid your hard-earned money for items that are ready to ship to you or that are in production, but unfortunately, after doing all that we can, they told us not to ship your orders to you. Our business priorities remain unchanged, a recent direct quote from Sony. And they also say here that pre-order customers, they have received royalty payments from you on your orders that Sony PlayStation now wants us to destroy and not ship to you. And then they say here, in terms of pre-order customers, that they've already received royalty payments from you on your orders that Sony PlayStation now wants us to destroy and not ship to you. Essentially saying that I guess they've already paid royalties to PlayStation for these statues that they have created, but PlayStation still doesn't want them to ship out the statues that people have already pre-ordered and should be receiving. And it says, it adds, remember Sony PlayStation's old tagline that they are for the players. But given their recent decision that they know adversely affects those in the collecting community willing to spend more on Sony PlayStation merchandise than an actual console, we are now not sure. So Who knows really what is going on here at the end of the day. This company here, Gaming Heads, is saying that Sony has stopped them, told them they can't ship out any of these statues to anybody, won't give a way to get refunds, telling their customers to essentially go and reach out to Sony, even name dropping somebody over there. And these customers who have purchased these are probably out of luck. And we actually have some more stuff here. It says some customers have reacted with anger, directing at Gaming Heads itself, particularly its apparent attempt to direct customers to Sony for potential refunds. And that's a weird thing because they obviously have their bank accounts, they have their money in terms of Gaming Heads. They have the ability probably to provide some refunds for these statues, and they're just kind of playing it all off to Sony. No matter what Sony has done here, that company I think still has the responsibility to answer to their customers who've ordered statues through their website. This person says, when I pre-ordered the Joel and Ellie statue, that was a transaction with Gaming Heads, not Sony. You need to refund the money. We all gave Gaming Heads to produce these products. Don't tell us to go to your licensor to get it. Say to anybody wondering, this is just Gaming Heads destroying a ton of stuff for a tax write-off and hoping you don't sue, which you won't, or file a chargeback, which you should. This person says, definitely file a chargeback ASAP and get that refund. I don't know why I'm still even in this group. Haven't bought from them in years and years due to shady shit like this. So who knows? I mean, who knows what Sony actually said? Who knows what they've told Gaming Heads? And we probably will never know, or at least won't know for a while. But at the end of the day, you can blame Sony all you want for this. This company took money from these customers and they aren't paying it back to them. And they're not delivering them the product. I think the responsibility does fall on Gaming Heads to make sure that the customers that did pre-order, did pay the money, that they do give them a refund. And we'll definitely keep an eye and see how this story evolves going forward. Now, quickly, let's talk about this. Master Chief is now in Rainbow Six Siege. This is super cool to see. We've seen other collaborations similar to this in these games, but Master Chief now is a Sledge skin replacement with the banished gravity hammer from Halo Infinite, and here is what he looks like. So if you are a Rainbow Six fan, you're going to be able to play as Master Chief in Rainbow Six Siege when you do choose Sledge. So cool to see. I always like to see Master Chief in as many things as possible. I love Master Chief, so if they're bringing him over to a first-person shooter, it does make sense. And with Sledge, obviously, with the Sledgehammer, giving that gravity hammer will probably be a ton of fun to play with. Finally, if you're a Far Cry fan, we do have some info here on Far Cry 7. It is in the works and it's looking to be released in fall of 2025. And I think one of the exciting things here is that they're finally moving away from the Dunya engine and they are moving over to Snowdrop. So I think people were kind of hoping for that earlier, but here it is in 2025. The next Far Cry will be doing that. They say it's going to be a non-linear game, which of course Far Cry has always been open world. And it's going to be around rescuing a wealthy family kidnapped by the Sons of Truth conspiracy group. The game's in-game time is 72 hours or 24 hours in real time. And the goal is to complete the game 100% by safely rescuing all of the family members. And the game introduces a new interrogation mechanic, which that's cool to see. One of the coolest things I like to do in Starfield right now, although it's not interrogation, is just trying to always persuade people and get information from them. So I like these types of mechanics in games. And they say this may not always yield necessary information from the enemy. It's always a hit and miss. It depends how good you are persuading. It depends how much you've leveled up your character and just overall your abilities to be able to do it and make sure you're selecting the right choices when taking part in interrogations and persuasive stuff. So Far Cry 7, I love this franchise. I really liked all of the games that I've played in it. I did enjoy Far Cry 6, but it is kind of in that point where it would be cool to see an upgrade to it. It'd be cool to see an upgrade to the graphics engine and adding some new game mechanics. And it looks like this is what they are going to be doing with Far Cry 7. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.